It was 1918. The city of New Orleans, a place that danced to the rhythm of jazz, had been struck by a shadow. Fear loomed in the streets, and the people whispered of a figure, unseen, but not unknown. They called him the Axeman. On the night of May 23, 1918, Joseph and Catherine Maggio were the first to fall. The couple was found in their small home, their skulls brutally bashed, their throats slit by their own razor. But the true terror came from the axe, their own, left behind by the killer. As the days passed, more fell victim to the Axeman's rage. Grocers, bakers, and common folk. No one was safe. Fear gripped the city, and locks became useless. The killer always entered through windows, prying them open with a chisel. Then came the letter. Dated March 13, 1919, it was addressed to the people of New Orleans. It claimed to be from the Axeman himself, a devilish figure who spoke of jazz and chaos. "I am not human," he wrote, "but a spirit and a demon from the hottest hell." The letter also carried a dark ultimatum. On the night of March 19th, the Axeman would strike again, but he promised to spare any home that played jazz music. That night, the city came alive with jazz. From every house, every bar, music filled the air, hoping to keep death away. One night, the Axeman struck the Cortimiglia family. Despite the attack, Mrs. Cortimiglia survived. She recounted the horror, waking to see a shadowy figure wielding an axe, her husband and child slain beside her. She tried to fight, but was left broken and bleeding. Weeks passed, and New Orleans remained on edge. The police had no leads, and the Axeman's attacks were random and savage. Some believed he was a mortal man. Others thought he was a demon. The fear of not knowing who or what he was only deepened the city's terror. On October 27, 1919, Mike Pepitone became the Axeman's final known victim. His wife, awakening to a noise, found him in their bed, his skull crushed by an axe. But once again, the Axeman had vanished into the night, leaving behind no trace but death. After the attack on Pepitone, the Axeman disappeared, as mysteriously as he had come. No one knew if he had died, left the city, or simply stopped. But his legend lived on, and the fear he instilled never left the streets of New Orleans. The Axeman of New Orleans was never caught, never identified. His reign of terror may have ended, but his name remains etched in the history of the city. Was he man or monster? The truth, like the Axeman, remains elusive.